Things you can do, some can't be done. 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 Things you can do, some
30-30, way past the millennium. Check it out. Yo, Joe.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Halloween. Boo! Welcome to Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. It is October 31st, 2024. This is episode 741 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and we are going to have a spooktacular time here on the stream this morning as me, you, Phil Stafford, jet-setting DJ B-Sec, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, Charles Finfrock in the low country, Jenny Owsley, folks like Chris Whitlock with the badge team, Josh Mason coming in hot, will never give up in Chad, Sherry K, Marcus Kyler, and the E-Crew. Guys, good morning, Kimberly. We're all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. I'm wearing my chef's apron. I'm going to be cooking up some stuff in the lab up in here as we shred the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. And I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information, Justin Gold, to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders? And if you're looking to break into the industry, believe me, folks like Gary Sturgiadis, Jenny Housley, Triple D, Marion Johnson, Alpha Sierra, Lara Flores, we're all up in here in chat saying what's up, welcoming people. It doesn't matter if it's day 0 in cyber or day 6,000 in cyber. We are one community and we share and help and support each other. It's all about good times. On top of that, if you're looking to break into the industry, guaranteed interview question, how do you stay current? Right here is that home run answer. Now, before we get into it, I want you all to know I don't prep or research for any of this. I'm too busy up in the lab, cooking like Raekwon the chef, right? And I just don't have time to research or prep. Oh, G-Pen yesterday afternoon, Port Zero bringing the heat, upstate's own. Nice job, Rick. Straight killing it, my man. Guys, listen, it would be we all got to stay current. We all got to study. We all got to do the things. But it's disingenuous for me to go through the stories that we're going to cover in the morning show here and be all prepped on it. To me, I think the authentic reaction is a much more compelling and interesting way to run the show. So since I get creative editorial decision making, I'm going to go ahead and roll with that. So let's go. All right. Now, before I get into it, let me give a holler and shout out to the stream sponsors, starting with my good friend, Eric Taylor, Justin Gold, Casually Joseph over at Barricade Cyber. Listen, Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But guess what? Whole Cyber Human Initiative, Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents.
Catch me outside. How about that?
That's what they tell threat actors on the regular. Catch me outside. How about that? Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Bookmark it. You definitely want to have this on speed dial when crap hits the fan at your business. What's up, Tom Bishop, the boot? It is Halloween here in the United States, so people dressing up, people doing all sorts of fun stuff. I wasn't going to dress up. I didn't know what to do. I wore, I was basically Tyler Ramsby for Halloween last year. Black hoodie on, sunglasses. This year I just grabbed my cooking apron. For those who don't know, Little Tidbits Tuesday, I love cooking. I love cooking, right? It's creative. It's fun. So I'm the guy who bought the Black Hat cooking apron at Black Hat. And this is what I wear. So I figured, what the hell? Let's go for it. All right. Now, hey, before we get right into it, and I tell you how you can get CPEs for being here, let's just have a brief word from the sponsor, Threat Locker. Cyber Threat Brief sponsor Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. All right, thank you, Threat Locker. All right, we got jokes in chat. It is Thursday, so that's What's Your Meme Thursday. We got a special custom bespoke crafted meme just for the Simply Cyber community coming up at the mid-roll. You're going to love it. Now, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat, grab a screenshot, file it away on a folder in your desktop, and once a year count the files, divide by 2. That's how many CPEs you got. VJ Money, a CPE, is a continuing professional education. Some countries, they're called CEUs, continuing educational units. When you get certifications in industry like Sec Plus, CISP, CISA, CISM, any of those, you will have to maintain them through annual CPEs. And it's usually like additional education. This is an instructor-led webinar. I am an expert in the field, and because of that, it qualifies. All right, hey, really quickly, shout out to Dane. Guys, if today's your first episode with us, hashtag first timer in chat, hashtag first timer in chat, you get a special emote, special sound effect. Our friend Dane. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal. If you're a squad member, do drop some John McClane love into chat for Dane, our first timer. We got some super chats coming in.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Priceless Pancake. I have officially been made an ISSO, or Information Systems Security Officer, for my org for internal and external contracts. GRC Mafia finally hit my goals. Couldn't do it without Team SC. We're going to go wrecking ball on that one, Priceless Pancake.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Straight up. Love it, love it, love it, Priceless. Keep crushing. Whole Cyberhuman Initiative with $10 super chat. Thank you. New album, OSINT Anti-Hero, releasing soon. I got an early release on that through DMs yesterday. All right. Oh, God. I wish that you guys could see the first time live. Mark NG will take it. Welcome to the party, pal. Really, really pumped for you, Priceless Pancake. Crushing those goals. Patrick Moore, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yes, sir. We got first timers coming out. Balthazar, welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yes, sir. Let me give you the full CatGPT.
Shall we play a game?
Oh, yeah. Look at CatGPT. No big deal. Just coming in for an interview for a senior security engineer today. Let's go. I wanted to show you the full cooking apron action with the GRC love. Port Zero, Upstate, giving gifted subs. 5 gifted subs coming in hot.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
So if you're one of the 5 people like Alex Rosada or Brad Swenson who's picking up those squad memberships, be sure to dig into those squad emote trays. Whole Cyberhuman Initiative giving out 5 gifted subs as well.
Did we just become best friends?
Damn, we're cooking for sure right now. Let's see if I got some gifted subs I can give away. Can I give away some? Hold on. Nope. Come on, I want to... Oh, I can't give out gifted subs right now. Well, we got a great show for you, everybody. Do me a favor. Love it. Dude, this is so awesome. If you're in Central Florida, close to Matland, Threat Locker is hiring a junior SOC analyst. Let's go. Hey, guys, I got to tell you, I have talked, obviously, Threat Locker is a sponsor. I've spent quite a bit of time engaging with the Threat Locker team. I really like them. I think it's a cool vibe, cool product. But I like the people. To me, it's always about the people. Definitely interesting. Thanks so much, FedEx, for sharing that. Priceless Pancake saying that the podcast opened Priceless Pancake's eyes to so much they needed to do and learn. Eric Taylor with 50 gifted subs. Top rope action right there.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Barricade Cyber with 100 gifted subs. Here we go. So, guys, look, barricadecyber.com. Comprehensive ransomware prevention and recovery, and they can help you with business email compromise, and they just gave 100 gifted subs So if you are one of the 100 people who's picking up gifted subs, welcome to the party, pal. All right, do me a favor, everybody. It's time to get to work. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. See you at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, October 31st, 2024. Happy Halloween. I'm Rich Straffolino. CISA launches International Cybersecurity Plan. This plan is the first for CISA, aiming to increase international cooperation, specifically securing critical infrastructure. The plan sets out 3 goals to accomplish this by 2026. The first is to bolster the resistance of foreign infrastructure the U.S. depends on. This will see CISA work with international partners on risk assessments and expanding visibility into shared threats. The plan also calls for working with partners to strengthen integrated cyber defenses, including steering international bodies and NGOs to adopt secure by design principles. The final goal calls for the CISA Stakeholder Engagement Division to create a governance structure to advise on international cybersecurity matters.
All right. I mean, way to go. I guess, hey, you know what? Sometimes it's all about just taking action, right? America, World Police. It makes me think of that movie with the puppet things. CISA director Jen Easterly getting her roses, right? Gen Z, you see what I did there? We got Jen Easterly in emotes of the 100 gifted subs, 110 gifted subs. You can get your Jen Easterly on. CISA is going to improve coordination with partners and strengthen international relations. Here's the deal, guys. CISA has been working very, very hard and very, very well to bolster and improve U.S. federal cybersecurity. They've been really, really strong on public-private sector coordination, open communication, knowledge sharing, threat intel sharing. We've got the known exploited vulnerability catalog. CISA has been pushing hard for secure by design. So like basically implementing security best practices early in the design process, which has been a concept for, like since 2005. But this makes sense. I said world police, but I was being playful. This makes sense. Like basically, if you think about organic growth, even like the Simply Cyber community, right? You start off kind of working on a smaller problem, and then as you solve it, you begin to grow and expand, right? So in this instance, CISA's got a pretty good situation going on in the United States. We've got, all the things that CISA is responsible for: election security, America's defenses, right? CISA is basically like America's SecOps capability, right? So they're ready to begin expanding into an international capacity. Frankly, they've been doing it for a while. They've got a lot of best practices. They've got a lot of knowledge to share. I like this. Now, it says international. If I had to guess, this is going to be more like CISA launches first Five Eyes cybersecurity plan. And then once they get that sorted out, I could see it being CISA launches first NATO affiliate cybersecurity plan. They're not going to say it. International is much more generic and much more flexible a term. But if you just think about like who the United States plays with, I would imagine this is going to be like a Five Eyes thing to get started here. Let's see what their strategic goals are. Bolster the resilience of foreign infrastructure on which the U.S. depends. Now, this is a dicey topic because a lot of people in the United States are pretty pissed right now about the amount of money going out. This isn't a political show. I'm just pointing out that bolstering foreign infrastructure when like Volt Typhoon is kicking mud holes in our own federal infrastructure, right? Federal critical infrastructure that private sector owns. Just think about that for a second. We just had a story with Volt Typhoon. Chris Wray, the FBI director, Jen Easterly, the CISA director, went in front of Congress and told like maybe 3 months ago that like China is all up in our business and we really need to get our together and get it sorted out. And then like we're talking about bolstering foreign infrastructure. Really quick, bolstering foreign infrastructure does mean something, Straight cash, homie. I mean, there's a cost associated with that. You don't just get to wave your hands and infrastructure bolsters, okay? Again, it does benefit the United States in this instance because if the United States depends on that foreign infrastructure, then essentially there is a vested interest in seeing it strengthened and, less compromisable. But at the same time, I'm just telling you, it's kind of a bad look, right? It's like, I feel like this is the equivalent of your house has like mold growing on the side, right? You know how like people power wash their house? Your house just looks filthy, and then it's like we should put some rims on our car. Like we should definitely like get our car looking drippy, right? Oh, Gen Z, you see what I did there too? I'm actually a Gen Z cook for Halloween this year. My point is, I'm sure there's money allocated all over the place, but to me, that's my initial gut reaction is like, ugh. Strengthen integrated cyber defenses. Okay, you have my attention. What else we got here? This is basically just, in my opinion, this is just continuing to improve the public-private sector elements. My assumption here is reciprocation from those foreign countries. Hey, we're going to share intel with you. You share intel with us. That's great. We should absolutely do that. Unify agency coordination of international activities. Sure, this is basically giving CISA authority to be, whatever, the point person, the quarterback on international type activities, events. Think of WannaCry spreading across the world. You'd want like a war room, and you need someone kind of like being the lead in the war room. That's it. All right, CISA, I see you. Hey, I will tell you this. One thing I do love about CISA, they don't sit on their laurels. They don't get a win and then like run around with the banner talking about, look at us. They just like get back to work. I think this is why so many people are like Jen Easterly fanboys, is because they just get work done and keep working. Love it. I love it.
North Korean hackers tied to Play ransomware. Researchers at Palo Alto Network's Unit 42 claim that the North Korean state-sponsored group Andariel shows links to the Play ransomware organization, likely operating as an affiliate or as an initial access broker. The researchers found that a September 2024 Play ransomware attack was precipitated by a previous Andariel compromise back in May. Both attacks used the same compromised account for initial access and used the same C2 beacon until just before the ransomware was deployed. The U.S. sanctioned Andariel back in 2019, meaning many ransomware negotiators would refuse any direct payment. Working as a Play affiliate may be a way to work around those sanctions.
All right. Excuse me while I grab a lozenge. Excuse me while I grab a hard candy, old man. All right. It's not a candy. It's a throat lozenge. I'm still kind of dealing with some crap up in here. All right, so North Korea getting slapped around. This should not come as any surprise. Play ransomware threat actors, they get paid. North Korea is radioactive. There's so many sanctions against North Korea because they're North Korea and they've done like North Korea things. So there's so many sanctions that you won't pay them if they try to ransomware you. North Korea is basically trying to find a loophole, right? This is the equivalent, okay? This is the equivalent of using a VAR if you're buying cyber, product like IT product. A VAR is a vendor ad reseller. Like you can't buy directly from Cisco. You have to buy from like CDW, who buys it from Cisco. It's always it's like the dumbest thing. And then CDW just adds 8% or whatever. Anyways, the whole thing here is that North Korea is not getting paid, and North Korea needs money because basically cyber financial crime is that's like their main GDP. So they figured out, we'll just become an affiliate of a ransomware gang, and we'll put on essentially like ransomware outfit for Halloween, right? North Korea is going to be ransomware threat actor Flaming Donkey for Halloween this year. So that's all they're doing. Way to go, Palo Alto, for identifying the I guess the attribution and the commonalities from prior attacks to link North Korea to this. Unfortunately, maybe North Korea is burnt here, and now they're not going to be able to use to play ransomware. But there's so many ransomware as a service, affiliate type ransomware threat actors that North Korea could just sign up with another one and continue to move. So pretty clever of North Korea in order to circumvent the economic sanctions placed against them.
FakeCall learns new tricks. FakeCall malware has been around on Android since at least 2022, allowing malicious actors to control access to incoming phone calls and communicate back to a C2 server. Researchers at Zimperium Z Labs discovered the makers of FakeCall are in active development on new features. This includes integrating with accessibility services to capture screen information and use overlays to impersonate sites. The researchers also note the updates to FakeCall add to its use as spyware, with an eye for persistence and the ability to monitor mics, Bluetooth status, and screen activity.
Okay, first of all, this shouldn't come as a surprise, right? FakeCall Android malware. Let me see what this does. I was so just... Listen, the term vishing is a term that is accepted in our industry. It means basically social engineering. Think of Social Engineering Village at DEF CON. It's a phone call where you try to convince someone on the other line to give up sensitive information or take some action like reset creds or whatever. Mishing, get GTFO, okay? Mishing, no. According to this article, mishing is mobile phishing, okay? Mobile phishing? What are we talking about here, bro? Like, that's not a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm old and I'm yelling at a cloud here, or I'm yelling at Joseph to get off my lawn, but mishing? What are we doing? Why are we trying to invent new words? Explain to me what mobile phishing is. How is it unique where it gets its own thing? Everybody's on a mobile. Like when you call someone, yeah, you might call a call center and get a direct line over VoIP or something, but like the mobile element of it is irrelevant. The medium in which you're contacting the person is irrelevant. You're speaking to them. That's why it's phishing. That's the attack vector. Doesn't matter if it's a landline or a cell phone or a walkie-talkie or a CB radio. What are we doing here? Is it going to be CB-ishing if you're like trying to like hack a truck driver? You're trying to get Sylvester Stallone and over the top to take a right and pull in? No. Stupid.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb.
All right.
For real.
Now that I've had my moment, sorry. Like in quishing, what are we doing? I get it. QR codes, that's a thing. But like, we need to rein in whoever, like, just because you can make a, I feel like this is, what's his face? Not Steve Gutenberg. Who's the dude from Jurassic Park who played the Chaos-tician? And he's like, just because we could, we never stopped to think, should we? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, thank you, Alpha Sierra. We're going to do wishing with the walkie-talkies. All right, so here's the deal. Obviously, this malware needs to get installed on the Android devices, so you need to make your end users aware of not installing cracked or pirated or random APK or Android application files from wherever. They can get into the Google Play Store, but, you know, obviously, you hope that there's a little bit of control around that. Trying to see, like, what the actual... malware remain undetected. Yeah. So the malware integrates with Android's accessibility service to give the attacker significant control over the interface. Yeah. So this is really an interesting thing. Like if you are a red teamer or whatever, something to keep in mind. If you're a blue teamer, I guess this is an interesting one to keep in mind, but I don't really know how you would detect this. On a lot of mobile devices, there's accessibility functions, so you can control like certain parts of the screen can't be touched. There's like audio, like it'll read what's on the screen for vision impaired and stuff like that. But these features can be weaponized in order to, say, read a password out loud, or have an overlay so the person thinks they're typing in their PIN into a legitimate PIN interface, but instead they're typing it into a malicious PIN interface and then sending it off to a C2. There's a lot of opportunity here. Educate your end users on phishing. With deep fake technology, 11 labs to rip off people's voices, we're seeing more and more of this type of deep fake business email compromise, social engineering action. Go look at Perry Carpenter at KnowBe4 and the work he's doing with AI. He actually just released a book. I haven't read it yet. Hold on. I haven't read it yet, but I know Perry. I know Perry very well. And he's been studying AI and doing a lot with AI quite a bit lately. And this is his book. And it's pretty legit. It was he actually had like Barnes & Noble on Fifth Avenue in New York City actually had a massive like display thing going on for this book right here. So recommend it. I'll drop a link in chat right now. This is an affiliate link because it automatically pushes it for me here. But James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet actually introduced me to Perry Carpenter. So shout out to James McQuiggan. All right, let's keep going.
Cloud credentials stolen from Git config files. Researchers at CISA discovered a large-scale campaign that scanned for exposed Git configuration files. Dubbed Emerald Whale, the malicious actor scanned websites with commodity tools to look if the .git/config file was exposed. It verified any tokens using curl commands and then downloaded private repositories. These were then scanned for any authentication tokens or secrets. The researchers estimate Emerald Whale stole 15,000 cloud credentials in this largely unsophisticated campaign.
All right, James McQuiggan, 1741 super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
The Ishing family's getting all kinds of weird cousins, and it's QR phishing, not quishing. Thank you. Whoever I sent my letter to got it. I think quishing was such a stupid name. Excited to land in Chucktown tomorrow for Simply CyberCon. He's got stickers. All right. Hey, so here's the deal. Basically an exposed Git config. So some junior engineer misconfigured a Git instance and it had 15,000 cloud account credentials in here. What? Hold on one second. James McQuiggan with another super chat, $20.
Become best friends. Yep.
He's read fake and it's awesome. Perry's work with deepfake AI and deception's awesome. Get the book and share with your friends, family. Also check out the Fake podcast. This is the book he's talking about. I literally was talking to Perry yesterday. We have a monthly meeting. So good. All right, so here's the deal. If your company uses Get or any type of shared code repository for code, what are they? Oh my God, it's been a minute since I dealt with these things. They're called, oh my God, it's like shared code repositories. Think of like GitHub, right? Check in, check out. There's versioning control. You make sure you don't overwrite other people's changes. There's logging, etc. All this is in here. If you're doing that, you need to make sure that you don't have your Get configuration accidentally public when it shouldn't be. Now, this Emerald Whale threat actor basically just scanned Gets and found 15,000 of them that should have been private were not private. They were public. So if you think about this, if you think your Get instance is private, you're more likely to put secrets in there because it's private, right? It's not a big deal. I have access control around it. The problem is, obviously, if that bit gets flipped and it goes from private to public, well, now all your secrets are public. And it's very difficult to go back and hide all your secrets, especially if you don't even know that the configuration's been changed. So what I would say here is, obviously, this threat actor used an automated tool to look for these things. If you are a red team or pen tester, bug bounty hunter, this is a great way to help find easy, low-hanging fruit, basically. Low-hanging fruit, right? That's basically what's up. you can find creds and then use the creds to log in and, download secrets or whatever. If you're a threat actor, or if you're trying to think about threat hacker mindsets and methodologies, think about this. They get your creds and then they log in and they modify the source code as an approved developer, introduce backdoors, key logging. They could log in and delete your code or whatever, which is not really that big a deal because typically you have version control and you can roll back to a known good version. But they could go in and change the passwords and lock you out of being able to log in. So there's a lot of different things. Obviously, API keys could be stolen. They could leverage those into, exploiting other services. Here's the TLDR if you are a practitioner who works in an organization that's using Git for code control. Yeah, you can see here, storing secrets in repositories is not risky as long as it's isolated from public access. This is the rub. If it were me, I would basically do two things here. If I had developers or whatever at my organization, one, I would send them this story and say, hey, always assume positive intent, dude. Also, I would say, hey, listen, I'm sure you guys are not putting secrets into public repositories, but look at this story. It looks like private repositories can be accidentally switched to public repositories. Can you check to make sure your private repositories are configured to be private? First of all, there you go. Second of all, you could scan your own get or whatever to make sure, like, trust but verify, basically. This isn't going to disrupt anything. If you're scanning get repos for exposed secrets, it's not going to disrupt anything, right? It's not going to knock anything over. So you can actually do it and validate. If you do not find anything of a secret, personally, I wouldn't tell the developers that you've gone ahead and scanned it, because you don't want to feel like you're coming behind them and validating. But if you do find something, you could say, hey, like, thanks for doing what you did. Just want to let you know, we ran an automated scan. We run it every month and we found some stuff. Please go ahead and fix that. That's what I would do. Also, if possible, as always, if you do find that you were exposed, as always, go back and do a little threat hunting. See if the creds that were in there are getting used from like weird IP addresses or random logins or, whatever. And you might have to potentially expire those credentials or tokens or API keys and renew them.
And now, thanks to today's episode sponsor, DropZone AI. Tired of false positives slowing your SOC down? DropZone AI uses advanced AI to filter out the noise and focus on real threats. 24/7, every alert, no manual intervention. Want to learn more? Schedule a demo and see the power of DropZone AI at dropzone.ai. That's DROPZONE.ai.
All right, shout out to Amir. Amir's here for the first time live.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. There we go. I like that. All right, hey guys, shout out to all you all. Thank you for being here. I hope you're getting a great experience here on the stream with the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. This is the mid-roll. If you're getting value, educational value, entertainment value, inspirational value, any value, hit the like button on YouTube. It helps other people find the stream. It's as easy as that. I want to say thank you again to the stream sponsors for enabling me the ability to come in here and do this every day. Shout out to Barricade Cyber, Threat Locker, and Antisyphon Training. Antisyphon Training is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by offering high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They have industry practitioners teaching curriculum of practical skills that are in demand for the market today, and they do it in a fun and inclusive way, very similar to Simply Cyber. If you enjoy the experience here in chat, you will love Antisyphon Training. Go to antisyphontraining.com to check out their upcoming courses. I want to give a shout out to this one, John Strand, who many of us know. And if you don't know John Strand, you should you should absolutely add him to your list of people to get to know. He's an amazing practitioner. He's a really nice guy, and he inspires me personally. November 4th through November 7th, next week, November 4th through November 7th, he is teaching Getting Started in InfoSec with Black Hills and MITRE ATT&CK, and I am taking this class. You could take it too for $0. $0. So if you're looking to break in, or you're looking to just refresh your skills, or you just want to learn a bit more about MITRE ATT&CK and how you can weaponize it for good, come check it out. November 4th through November 7th. I hope you're there. Anytime I join the Antisyphon trainings, I've taken a few of them now. It's always a great experience. Plus, personally, I love that Simply Cyber basically takes over the Antisyphon trainings. It's always so fun. All right, guys. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and today is Thursday, so it's What's Your Meme Thursday. We've got a double shot from Haircut Fish. So first one, obviously, Jen Easterly. We were talking about her earlier today. So Haircut Fish has got Jen Easterly bussing. All right. Hey, really quick, John with a super chat. John just got moved on to the next round with Cisco. Thanks, Jerry and cyber community. I owe it to you all. Moving on up, John, best wishes. Hopefully, I'm sending you good vibes. I know that the team is sending you good vibes. The Team SC. Let's go ahead and if you're a squad member, why don't you drop those Oprah emotes into chat for John, sending him some good vibes. Cisco, great company. Wish you the very best. All right, it is Halloween, so we've got a Halloween theme, and Haircut Fish never disappoints. Looks like it's Beetle Jerry, Beetle Jerry, Beetle Jerry. There we go. Thank you, Haircut Fish. Happy Halloween, everybody. Nick Barker in the house. God damn it. All right, we're going to do our laws and then move quickly through the second half of the stories. I hate to move quickly, but I got to go pick up Charles Finn-Frock and go to the Citadel. We got a busy couple days today with the Simply CyberCon and other things. Just a reminder, Simply CyberCon is tomorrow, but we've got a workshop today. Workshop at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll drop a link in chat. Come do it. It's virtual. Workshop. All right, let's get our laws on. All right, so just looking really quickly here, it does look like if you look closely on the background, that looks like it's Tyler Ramsey in the house. Tyler Ramsey with a cameo. Nice job, Haircut Fish. All right, let's move quickly through the second half of the stories because I got to get out of here. There will be no jaw jacking today. Also, DJ BSEC, normally our Thursday jaw jacker, is in transit to Simply CyberCon, so we won't be doing that today. Let's keep going.
Quantum encryption story that wasn't. Earlier this month, we discussed a research paper from Shanghai University published in September that showed it could attack algorithms used in AES with a D-Wave advantage system. This story was initially published in the South China Morning Post, but wasn't linked to the paper directly. Dan Gooden at Ars Technica noted that many outlets mistakenly linked to an earlier paper by the same research team that also dealt with post-quantum cryptography. Gooden subsequently found the actual September research paper, which doesn't deal with attacking AES at all. Instead, it shows a method of using a D-Wave-enabled quantum annealer to find integral distinguishers up to 9 rounds in the encryption algorithms known as present, GIF64, and rectangle. This doesn't represent a new capability for quantum computing. Classical attacks have been able to do the same thing for years. Researchers contacted by Gooden for the story said the paper shows that this system is able to perform a classical attack with the same relative efficiency.
All right, so, I mean, this is so funny. Last week, 2 weeks ago or whatever, there was a story that came out, like China broke quantum encryption, blah. Apparently, This is such a indicator of the modern society. Basically, news outlets had to be the first to pick it up, had to run, and then I'm sure it turned into like a steaming mob mentality of like, oh, like they said it, let's go. Basically, the paper that was cited, no one read, no one looked at. It had nothing to do with breaking crypto or encryption, and they just ran with it. So even the story that ran, it was supposed to be like AES 128, which is not, we run AES 2048, 4056 at this point. So, it was already poo-pooed, but whatever. Again, I think the TLDR here is that, check your sources. If you're making decisions or informed opinions on evidence, you should validate that. Like anytime you see a survey or a report statistically, like 185% of cyber attacks start with phishing. Like, where's the source data for that? Check the receipts. This is what rigor is called in academic research, okay?
U.S. county websites vulnerable to spoofing. A report from CompareAttack found that 57% out of 3,144 U.S. county websites used a non.gov domain, opening the door to simple domain spoofing by malicious actors. This varied wildly. All Arizona counties used a .gov domain, while 72% of Michigan counties did not. 85 websites also lacked an SSL certificate. Looking at contact emails on the county sites, the report found that 41% lacked DMARC authentication. About 3% of sites also just used generic webmail addresses like Gmail. The researchers warned that search engines could be gamed to push people to spoofed county sites and recommended users needing election information go to state sites.
All right. I mean, this story is hot right now.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
So, hey, really quick programming update. It looks like jawjacking will be happening. Eric Taylor has swooped in. Mods, if you have the GIF of me getting pushed out of the way by Eric, please drop that so I can share that. Eric Taylor, not all heroes wear capes. Eric Taylor is going to make sure that we keep the jawjacking train going. All right, this story is hot right now because obviously the U.S. presidential election's going on. We're just a few short days away from election day. Unless you've already voted early, which it only took me 45 years to figure out that that's an option. And it's a really great option. I didn't have to wait in 2 hours of line. So check this out. Thank you. Here's a live look in at what jawjacking is going to look like. There we go. Eric just shoving me out of the way. Yeah, you can move. So the story is basically saying that county websites for election officials can be spoofed, i.e., the website-ish can be spoofed, but what they're talking about here is that you could do a couple things. One, you could set, like, for some stupid reason, I have no idea why, over half of the county websites in the 7 swing states in the United States don't have .gov domains. So I know this is like basic stuff, but in the world of, the internet and IT and everything, the TLD or top level domain is like the thing to the far right of a standard domain name. So .com, .org, .gov, .edu. Now, anybody can register a .com. Anyone can register a .XXX. Anyone can register a .xyz, a .media, a .me, a .tv, a .whatever. Right? But as far as I know, .gov has to be vetted. You can't just sign up for simplycyber.gov or Pretoria.gov and claim your own country. So the fact that control is in place boggles my mind that these counties would set up websites that are not .gov affiliated. But when they're not .gov affiliate, that means that I can, let's say it's charlestoncounty.com. Right? Well, I can create charleston-county.com and then start spreading all sorts of nasty disinformation, misinformation on there, and really, really confuse the public, right? Voter community, etc. So there's that. On top of that, they said here that many of these domains don't use DMARC, which I forget the DMARC acronym, honestly. but it's an email authentication protocol that essentially makes it so you can't spoof. I can't send an email from like Joe Biden at whitehouse.gov, probably because they have DMARC in place, right? That would validate that it didn't come from that domain. Without that control in place, I could send something and pretend to look like, the mayor of whatever city, Copa County, Arizona, whatever. So there's a lot of opportunity here. I do want to point out, none of this story is saying that it's been exploited or this is happening, just that it could be spoofed. Remember, vulnerabilities do not equal exploitation. You can have your front door unlocked, and that doesn't mean you've been robbed. It just means you have a higher risk of being robbed. You can leave your car unlocked in a parking lot. It doesn't mean your glove box is going to get rifled through. It just means you have a higher likelihood of your glove box being rifled through. So, like I said, this story is hot because of what's going on right now, but it is, we'll see.
NAS makers patch pwned.
Oh, Space Tacos, I guess Odd Culture Gaming got a job interview. A job offer. We're going to wrecking ball that one.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
All right, let's keep going.
Own bugs. Security researchers demonstrated several vulnerabilities impacting popular NAS hardware at the Pwn to Own Ireland event. Synology patched 2 critical remote code execution vulnerabilities impacting 2 of its photo products. QNAP released an advisory noting that it patched a critical OS command injection vulnerability in its HBS3 hybrid backup sync disclosed at the event. TrueNAS issued an advisory with mitigations for flaws impacting its own products at Pwn to Own, but patches remain in development. Overall, the 2-day event netted security researchers over $1 million in bug bounties.
Straight cash, homie. Nice. All right. So Pwn to Own, obviously, if you've been here, if this is your first time here, welcome to the party, pal. You may not know this, but if you've been a regular, you know that I love myself some Pwn to Own. It's basically the Olympics for security researchers. And it's no surprise that over $1 million was given out to participants. And all these 0 days were found. Now, what really shouldn't come as a surprise is that QNAP was in here. I'm sure Zixel was in here. I'm sure Fortinet was in here. These are NAS solutions or network attached storage devices. Not to dox myself too much, but I do run Synology as a private cloud instance here at the Buffer Auger Flow studio. And I'm quite happy with Synology. So it isn't just like the lower hanging punching bags that had 0 days. It's the big boys too. If you're interested, obviously there's going to be a lot of advisories and vulnerability patching coming out.
You gotta patch it.
You got to patch it. Definitely recommend best practices. Like if you're going to run NASs on your network and make them remotely accessible, may I recommend, VPNing into your own environment. It takes more infrastructure and coordination, but like VPNing into your own infrastructure or having access controls around, if it's a 0 day, it doesn't matter if you have a wicked good password and limited user accounts. Like a 0 day sometimes can just be popped, but just make sure that you're practicing good practices, even alerting. Like I know, for example, whenever anything happens on my Synology that comes from outside, like me basically VPNing in, I get notified. My phone starts, flipping out. So obviously that's a detection mechanism. Don't sleep on detection, y'all. Yes, left of boom is where GRC people get paid. Straight cash, homie. Identify and protect, but don't sleep on detection. Detection's hot too.
That Hansel's so hot
Colorado
right now.
posts voting system passwords online. Colorado's Secretary of State's office spokesperson Jack Todd confirmed that the data had been available online for several months. These were posted on a hidden tab on a spreadsheet available online. It's not clear who, if anyone, accessed the document. Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold said the leak did not represent a security threat, as access to any component of the voting system requires 2 passwords that are kept in separate places and held by different parties. Griswold further said election officials are in the process of changing passwords and reviewing all access logs. The state immediately notified CISA when it discovered the leak. We know... So for all those in chat who are hearing the Carl,
and you don't know what it is, really quickly, that is Rick Grimes for Walking Dead yelling Carl, but then Carl is the avatar that I like to use. I've used them for years. I want everybody to know, because it's like, it's not, I don't want it to be like an inside joke that everybody, this is Carl right here. Carl's like this New Jersey guy, not the brightest bulb, does his thing. Okay. This is Carl. Carl. Okay. So when we talk about Carl, we're talking about end users. Remember, end users, or, people who are not working in cyber, we can't expect them to know everything about cyber. We have to enable them to make good choices and protect themselves. Somebody published system passwords on a public-facing website for some reason, okay? I'm sure it was accidental. And, obviously Colorado is saying, don't sweat it. You needed 2 passwords to get in there. I hope to holy hell that they reset and changed the passwords that did get leaked and didn't just rely on the fact that you needed 2 passwords. Guys, here's a reality check. When you log into a system with like username and password, if the username gets out, yes, the account isn't compromised because you need the password also. But hey, from a best practice, if the threat actor doesn't have the username and the password, they need to get 2 pieces of information. I'm not saying that's multi-factor authentication at all. What I am saying is, if you don't need to give threat actors extra information, then don't. In this instance, with one of the 2 passwords compromised, all you've done, yes, you've limited, it couldn't have been hacked because they need a second password. Hello, do you know what credential stuffing is? Do you know what brute force attacks are? You've already given them half the key. If there's 2 locks and you give me the key to one of the locks, guess what? There's 1 lock. You've lowered the barrier to entry for a threat actor. So whatever. It is a true statement that, it wasn't a guaranteed access, but to say this is not a security threat, really? Is it really not though? Is it really not though? Obviously she's trying, Secretary of State Jenna Griswold is trying to ease public concern and mollify everybody, but in reality, that this is a terrible look. If I had to guess, somebody got very chastised, potentially fired for this mistake, especially during, like right now, we're 5 days away from the U.S. presidential election, and let's just say, for example, Colorado is involved in some type of like the voting election results are like really, really close, and Colorado somehow is a pivotal state. People are going to look at this and be like, oh, election tampering, right? So you got to be careful with that. All right, guys, it's 8:52. Let's do this. This has been episode 741 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Guys, I want to tell everybody, tomorrow, Simply CyberCon's going down. You can be here in person. I'd recommend you get to the conference place at 3:30, the latest. We're probably going to get started about 3:50 p.m. I'll be announcing the keynote speaker, welcoming everybody. Maybe we'll take the team photo before things get cracking. Today, more importantly, there is a workshop today at 12:30 p.m. on Simply CyberCon website. The Simply Cyber YouTube channel, the one you are on right now, is not going to be hosting the Simply CyberCon workshop or tracks. It is the Simply Cyber Cafe and the Simply CyberCon YouTube channels to get those. So everyone's welcome to come to the Simply CyberCon workshop today at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to simplycybercon.org for all the information. And then, of course, there is a Discord server where you can get up-to-the-minute information. The final thing I want to say is, if you are physically in Charleston for the conference and you will be here tonight, I know a bunch of people are meeting up for drinks and food and good times. I will be trick-or-treating with my kids and wife, and I'm super pumped for that. But for those attendees that are traveling in, if you're looking for Team SC activities, go to the Simply CyberCon Discord server. That's where coordination is going to be optimized. All right, guys. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Be well and stay tuned because we're going to be jumping into jaw-jacking with one Eric Taylor. Lara Flores, what's the parking situation at the venue? There is a massive parking garage right next to where the conference is being held. The conference is being held in like kind of the northeast section of downtown, and there isn't a ton of stuff going over there, but there's the con, the aquarium, and then a massive parking garage. So parking will be good. All right, guys, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Be well, and until next time, stay secure.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Eric Taylor here, welcoming you. If you don't know who I am, I'm with Barricade Cyber along with Casually Joseph. Jerry calls him Cashmere, but Justin Gold, Kimberly Can Fix It, and the other team's members that are behind the scenes that you may or may not know about. But if you have any questions, please drop it into the chat with the Q mark or Q and then colon, so that way I could quickly be able to find it out. Nobody wants that, Tom Bishop. Nobody wants that. Question: what's going on with the Try Hack Me? Any news on the crypto issue? So, talk to Casually Joseph. He was actually bringing that up to us yesterday in a private one, and we were kind of going through and ripping it apart in Inspector and stuff like that, and seeing some of the modules that were being brought up, and it was interesting, right? So, glad to know that he is not the only one that was suffering from that situation. That other people are having the same issue, so that may make him feel a little bit better that he's not being pwned or something. What's going on, Miss Jess Bishop? Hope you're doing well. Nick Barker, thanks for taking over. Absolutely, man. I actually, so in mod chat, I was fussing hardcore at Jerry. I'm like, WTF is going on around here? It literally takes 30 seconds. Like, hey, because I'm not in Discord much except for when the show is going on. And even then I'm like hit and miss. But, the team is in Discord. They're the youngs that they love their Discord. Plus he's got me, he knows my cell phone number. We text. It's not like we text and talk all the time, maybe once a quarter or something like that. But, he could have easily just sent me a voice message on Apple, be like, hey, need you to fill in. It literally takes 30 seconds to do that. So I almost bet that Jerry's like one of those people that will not call when he's going to be late for a meeting. Like, that's one thing that drives me. It's like, it literally takes 30 seconds. Hey, I'm going to be 5 minutes late. I'm going to be 3 minutes late. Whatever the case is. I don't know. I think I did that one. I don't know that term. Thanks for being clutch. But okay. You're welcome, I think. So Casually Joseph actually said here in mod chat that it's a third-party GitHub repo that got compromised in relation to the Try Hack Me situation. So, yep, I have glasses on the Runaway. So these are literally reading glasses. So I have anything that's real close, like my phone or a lot of times on the computer and stuff like that. So if you're watching older videos from like even a year or so ago, I was not wearing glasses as much. Every once in a while when my eyes would get tired, but as I'm getting older and older and been looking at screens for so long, it's getting very hard to read text. So it's definitely something I need for reading. Thanks. So, you'll see it more often. You probably, if you looked at the last jaw jacking sessions, more times than not, I'm more dressed up these days than I have been in the past. So, as our clientele and our business is growing and we are attracting higher, quote unquote, higher end clients, things like that nature, you always want to dress the part of your client. So and I got to always remember, because we have a wide diverse of manufacturing clients as well. And most of the time, if I'm meeting with legal and insurance people and the other quote unquote professional services, the CPAs, the lawyers, all that, it's okay, perfectly acceptable, and almost expected to have a dress shirt on. And I'm business casual for the most part. Like I don't have dress pants on. I literally have jeans. So I'm not going to stand up and show you, but just take my word for it. So I'm always in pretty much jeans and a dress shirt. So it's like the quote unquote business casual for the most part. But when we're going to manufacturing clients and things of that nature, me walking in like this would definitely be off-putting to a lot of them. Most of them know me long enough that they'll just talk to me like, yeah, no, he really is a verbal train wreck. Question: are you presenting at Simply CyberCon? If so, on what? I am not presenting. I was not asked to present. There's a ton of people who are speaking. We've been getting asked to, especially the marketing team, Tamara and Kimberly, been asking, I need to start putting something together for presentation. So I got a couple things that I've been toying with doing. Talking about 365 forensics maybe, and some of the pitfalls that we've seen. Some talking about threat actor communication, some of the pitfalls we've seen. They're not very lengthy talks by any means. I could probably fly through it in 10, 15, 20 minutes type of thing, but it is somewhat educational. So I've been thinking about some of those. Question, Eric, I found a game that has learning for cloud as a game and interactive right now, learning S3 buckets. Is that something I can use to get into IT? I mean, it's a knowledge. I mean, it's part of your cloud infrastructure knowledge of how to stand up and secure S3 buckets. So, I mean, it is an item. I don't know if that one item will get you an IT job, but it could help. But like I told you last week, right? Or earlier this week, I don't know if anybody's really hiring for anything the remainder of this year. I really hope I'm wrong for your situation, but I don't know if anybody is. What will the Eric Taylor tribe do to celebrate Halloween? So my daughter's got some schoolmates from the Christian school coming over. Going to do a little bit of passing out candy in our yard. We have what's called the, I don't want to OSINT where we are, but it's our neighborhood or our community killers. So literally what it is a bunch of dads who dress up like all the Halloween scary killer people, like It and Freddy and just so on and so forth. And every weekend they literally drive around on our golf carts, and you try to go hunt down the killers and all that, but they'll be out in full force this evening. So we'll ride around on the golf cart trying to track them down, things of that nature. So that's kind of what we're doing. Can other people be part of the Discord group you just mentioned? No, so that's a mod chat. Thinking back, that's mod chat. So I mean, you have to be a mod it's part of that mod chat group. But Jerry, go back to that. Jerry could have literally just sent up a flare. To be fair, DJ BSEC could have sent up a flare too. Say, hey, I'm not gonna be able to do it, because that's what I've done. Say, hey, DJ BSEC, I'm not gonna be able to do it this day. Can you do it, or can somebody else do it? So, plenty of blame. What's your Halloween costume? I'm going as a cybersecurity professional. I don't have it. yes, I will roast Jerry all the time. So the one thing I always say about it is Dr. Gerald Auger does more of the CISO, more of the high level 30,000 foot view, the philosophical aspect of a lot of the stories. And I am much more a technical person that's transitioning a little bit to the higher end. But yeah, I'm very much in the weeds. And so anytime I'm doing the podcast or anything, you're going to get a technical perspective versus a CISO's perspective. So that's kind of, I think, why we like doing it so much, because there is two different sides of the Rubik's Cube, if you will, that's at least being portrayed. And then when you have Tyler, he's coming from the hacker space, and DJ VSEC, who is still very much in the role that I used to do for a while there, network administration and system administration. So you're covering multiple sides of that proverbial Rubik's Cube, if you will. So it's good to get those different perspectives, so that way everybody can, look at it and see, what they align with. So Casually Joseph in mod chat says, no, you're going as a CISO. Ain't no cybersecurity professional wearing that unless you're a Fed. The team always tells me that I'm going to be dressing too professionally for some of these places because I will look like a effing Fed. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. But the thing that I always push back to them is, like, when you look at anybody in digital forensics and incident response, you almost expect it to be there, right? So I don't know. It's a cat and mouse game. We're trying to find a common ground. But trust me, if I could literally be in shorts and an F off t-shirt the rest of my life, I'd be the happiest fat man alive. Yes, Nightbot, if you guys are getting any value, take 3 seconds, hit that like button, thumbs up, it goes a long way. Please share this with people. People are giving Casually Joseph some trash. Want to know why he will never do jaw, or why he doesn't do jaw jacking. I can give him the link right now. He can come in here and take it over. I don't give a darn. Question: did you see in the latest AI memo, one key point is that the White House mandates federal agencies to designate a chief AI officer? You know what, John? I don't give two flying rats' butts what this administration dictates. And it's not just a Biden, it's just a general. They love to pass around, even in previous administrations, they love to throw around executive orders, but they don't do it themselves. I really don't care. They can demand all they want to, but whatever. Go back and read your Pledge of Allegiance, we the people. Or that's the Declaration of Independence, sorry. It's we the people, not the government. Should there be something? Sure, but whatever. Yeah, just catch up in chat. We need Casually just to step up. He'll get there. He'll get there, guys. I'm not talking down on him by any means, but he's still getting his feet wet in a lot of stuff. He knows a fair amount of stuff conceptually. Some of the next stuff that's going to be coming up, he's going to really be getting his feet wet in forensics and things of that nature, in different aspects, going into 2025, if everything pans out the way that I'm hoping and projecting it to go. So he'll have more technical experience and be able to speak on things a little. Again, I'm not beating him up, but more in an intelligent manner than a conceptual, but more of a technical perspective. And that may be what he's waiting on, right? He's waiting for that quote unquote field experience versus the technical knowledge of doing it before he really feels comfortable to stand up on his own 2 feet. And it is imposter syndrome. Could he come in here and talk for 30 minutes? Absolutely. I mean, hell, I have every bit of confidence. I send him off to conferences before by himself to represent the company. I wouldn't do that if I didn't have complete, total confidence. But I think for him, he needs to get a little bit more of that technical stuff before he feels comfortable to come up here on his own and talk. And that's fine, right? So keep nudging him. Keep nudging. He'll get there. Very simple. 1 equals Tuesday, that patch. No, I think that'd be Casually Joseph. I may do a "don't exploit me, bro" or something. I don't know. Question: I might have got a job installing PoE and Wi-Fi security cameras. Okay. Besides subnetting and securing the Wi-Fi and physical network, what other security skills should I work on to help the biz and upscale? Okay, so you're going to install a PoE injector and Wi-Fi security cameras. So yeah, you really should have them on their own subnet. I would really look at how you're controlling the remote access to those cameras. And potentially the NVR network video recorder, DVR digital video recorder, whatever, are they the images being stored locally? Are they being stored in the cloud? Is there a hybrid of the both? What kind of access is going on to that? Because 9 times out of 10, probably 9.5 to 9.8 times out of 10, the business owner or the C-suite want to be able to view those cameras remotely. So how are they going to be able to do that? Is there an integrated apps? Are you going back to the story like Jerry was saying, he uses Synology in his own internal infrastructure for file sharing, but he's implemented stuff like a VPN or something like that. So it's not like the Synology Cloud Connect is just open to the world to access his box in a global fashion. You got a VPN, and then you'll be able to have access to that Synology to box, things of that nature. So that way you can be able to access the files instead of just in a global fashion. How are you implementing that type of stuff inside of your client's infrastructure to keep them more secure? There is a methodology mindset that, if it is in its own VLAN, how much security do you really need to apply to the security cameras? And that's a questionable thing, right? Outside of tampering with the cameras, shutting them down, we've seen with other cameras, Hikvision, I think it is. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on, but I'm 99% sure Hikvision had a major issue with being able to hijack the cameras. There's a lot of them on the planet you can do that with, but you could actually watermark in the middle of it, and people were just doing, insert adult comment here of images, being as a watermark on these cameras. So when you go back to review it, then you would see an adult, whatever, typically an adult appendage, read between those lines, as a watermark throughout the entire video, and it had been going on for the past 3 or 4 months. So everything that was there, you had to look around the watermark or whatever, and it just became an issue for a lot of stuff. So worry about the remote access and how that's being handled would be the biggest thing that I would do. The only other thing, and this may be going outside of your scope of work, but doing a verification that the other networks cannot get into your VLAN cameras, right? So I know I went really, really long in that answer, but hopefully that helps you. Question: how do you mitigate brute force attacks? Been seeing more regularly in our environment. Alicia Hickle, I need more context to that. Brute forcing into what? The let's just say hypothetically the 365 tendency. There's nothing you can stop it. Monitor it. Make sure you have true MFA. Me personally, when you have a MFA platform, it's not in the same ecosystem. I personally do not believe Microsoft Authenticator is a true MFA because you're in the same ecosystem. Again, I'll meet you out back. We'll fight it out. I don't care. Using a third party external to your login authority, LDAP, Azure AD, or Intra AD, whatever you want to call it now. I don't want it in the same house. I don't want it in the same company. I want it an external company. So that way it is a multi-organization factorization. If I just word salad the hell out of that. But you get what I'm saying. So that would be the first thing to do. Just securing the stuff that you can't lock down. If you have hypothetically like an SSH server that you're serving up for remote access to be served out, SFTP, IIS, whatever the case is. And that's really where our conversation is like, does this need to be globally accessed? Is there a way to filter connections coming in only from the US, or if it's only supposed to be served in, China, Russia, South America, whatever the geo thing is, trying to narrow down the access tree for that, then that's what you do. Right. 365, now that I say that out loud, 365 also has conditional access roles that you can do where you can be able to lock down. If you can't log in, like in Barricade Cyber, you can't go to Tor and log into your tenant here. It just won't happen. If you're outside of the country, we'll put exclusions in when we're traveling globally. There's always conditional access. There's certain rules that you can put in. It just depends on the technology and where it's being located at to help mitigate the ability to actually log into something, right? So just take a good strong look and talk about use cases. You know what I mean, Joseph? Again, I'm not picking on you. This is what I think, what you're doing from the outside looking in. Question from SSD. What roles in cyber have you seen are responsible for drafting policies and strategies for an organization's cyber operations? That's definitely a GRC. The CISO will definitely be doing that. In your senior level, I would imagine. The junior level and mid can draft them and then send them up the chain of command up to the senior people and say, hey, I've drafted this for your review and consideration. This is a policy I would really like to see implemented for XYZ. And you could be that advocate. So talking it out, any role can do it. You just may have a chain of command that you have to go through for approval process naturally, and for buy-in inside of the organization, depending on how big it is. So we the people, exactly. Question: do you know of any other platforms except for THM, Try Hack Me, or HTB, Hack the Box, for some practice in skill building to become a security engineer? Some odd reason payment failing. To plug a sponsor, go to Black Hills. I don't know if they have the cyber ranges as an ad hoc purchase or not, or if you have to go through the class and then you can have access to the cyber range. Definitely reach out to them. and see. But I do know they have it. Hopefully, chat, because I am behind, so hopefully, chat is giving you some other options as well. With the upcoming getting started in cybersecurity with BHIS and the minor tag work, John Strand, if I sign up and can't attend live, will I still be able to view and get the cert, or just be able? That setup, you're talking to the wrong bunch of people. Unless somebody in chat already knows and has gone through this situation. And that's it. I would say, talk to Black Hills, right? That's like saying I can control what Apple or Microsoft does. Not a whole lot. Yep. You need any pads? Oh, no, stop. How are y'all feeling about the Halloween music? I wonder if it's going to be around after. I imagine not. But a lot of companies, they keep things around for a little bit longer after the event happens. I'm just getting caught up here on the questions. I don't know Angular. I know I didn't, but that's a good idea for next year. Oh, here you go from Haircut Fish. You need to pay to get the cyber range. Yeah, I knew you had to pay for it. I just didn't know if it was an ad hoc, like you can just pay to get access to cyber ranges, or if it was just. So in the course, you could pay for further access and to be able to get the cyber range. Like, to pay what you can doesn't give you access to the cyber range, but knowing that the KC7 is a good and free platform from someone who's actually doing SOC work right now, so definitely take a look at get the KC7 and see if that may be something that you can get to set up. People are in chat answering that you do have access to the videos for 6 months. That's good to know. Casually Joseph said in mod chat as well that the Blue Team Labs online, Let's Defend.io is getting some shout out in the mod chat. So if you're looking for other training, definitely go look at Let's Defend.io. Definitely get some love for the KC7. Is there a way you would recommend setting up an environment like email and accounts for practice and growing cybersecurity knowledge and experimenting, like creating a dedicated email for that? I don't understand that question, Fight Like Wolves. Is there a way you would recommend setting up an environment? Like, I understand that you're wanting to get cybersecurity knowledge and experimenting, but I don't know how an email account is going to help you achieve that goal. And I think that's really what I don't understand. What exact knowledge and what are you trying to experiment with? Like, I don't understand. Sometimes when you ask questions, you just need to be crystal clear. because reading between the lines really sucks for me. um, I mean, are you talking about like setting up like a trial tenant with Azure, and that way you can stand up VMs and stuff like that? I mean, setting up a throwaway dummy account on Gmail or Proton Mail or something like that may help you achieve that goal. Again, I really need more context to this question before I can really answer it, unfortunately. Emails are flowing in. I think actually Joseph in mod chat just tried to send me a threat locker on purpose. Trying to say CrowdStrike has some free open training, and then there was like another thing for a threat locker or something. Bentech, since there are so many other security controls in NIST 853, do audit security assessments typically cover all the controls or just a few control families per audit? Just a few. So a 53, 171, things of that nature are very specific into what industry that you're doing and what may be most applicable to your organization. So this is why we say compliancy does not mean secure. It helps you, but it's not, you know, a 1-to-1 ratio, right? So yeah, maybe again we just need some more context. Thank you so much, Miss Jenny Housley. There she is, keeping me up to date. Let me know about these questions. Have you seen the movie Afraid, and do you perceive it as more of a documentary than a movie? I've seen a couple movies lately. Let me just look this up real quick. Bear with me 1 second. I have not seen that movie. When did this come out? Oh, this year. Okay. I'll put it on my list to watch and try to report back by next jaw-jacking time of what my thoughts are on that. Another question for Sean. How long do I give a job application before reaching out to someone on LinkedIn otherwise? A week? That's what I would do. You know, back in the old days, gather around, children. It's campfire time. You know, but seriously, in my early young days, I learned very quickly how being persistent always got me a job. Right? Like I would go fill out the application, and I would follow up within a day. Hey, this is Eric, just following up. Make sure you see my application if you have any questions or whatever. And then I would follow up in a week. Hey, did you have time to look at my application? Do you have any questions? You know, I'm really eager to get started. Can we set up a time for an interview? Things of that nature. So, you know, today's world, the bigger organizations, like you're not gonna be able to pull that off at Apple, Microsoft, or something like that, right? But the smaller organizations may still be able to, you know, pull that one type of scenario off. The bigger orgs, they just have, you know, so many cogs in the whole spectrum that it's got to go through its own internal filtering process. So, right. Casually Joseph, and this is why I say you still need to get some. You still get your feet wet. Not quite there. That's right. So, those who don't know, in mod chat, Casually Joseph is trying to rickroll me or trigger me into going to a site that will trigger me or rickroll me. So, and Discord is not liking it very well. And even I, who do not know Discord at all, like literally, like I'm a mod in name only because I'm communicating with the other people. Even I know some of the stuff he's trying to pull do not work the same way that he's trying to accomplish. So. It is a you problem. Because you don't know the you keep forgetting the mechanics of Discord, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see any other questions. So, if y'all traveling, hopefully, I don't think I'm going to be really at the Simply CyberCon. I may pop in for a minute, but definitely go by. I know I'll be there to set up the booth. We have, our stickers that we'll have there. So, because we are a sponsor of the B-Sides Charleston event, so we'll have some stickers out. Hopefully, I get a chance to get it set up before the conference of Simply Cyber, but we'll see how that goes, just depending on schedule and availability. If y'all travel, please travel safe. And until next week, y'all people stay secure. How about that? Where did the closeout videos go? Oh, it just took a second for it to open up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all take care of yourselves. And until next time.
The kid whose passwords laid across all sites, they were the same. A criminal then found their fame by taking that data to go.
Soon may a criminal come to steal your pictures and data and run. One day when the crime is done, they'll steal your account and go.
Oh, that's weird. Why did it not? All right. Try that again, filthy animals.
Content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next one.